And if you're familiar with the Enneagram, you might have heard this subtype or also called instinctual variant, maybe in other Enneagram literature. You might have heard the preserving called the self-preserving. But it is so much more than just preserving the self. It is preserving yourself, but also the people that you really care about. And so this type is made up of 3 categories. And I will say too that whether it's this one or another one, that just because you prioritize this, you think about it a lot, maybe you do it a lot, doesn't necessarily mean you do a great job of it. So there might also be some opportunities for growth for all of us, depending on what our dominant instinctual bias is. Now, the 3 categories that make up our preserving energy is security, well-being and resources, and maintenance. And includes resources, well-being, maintenance for ourselves and for those people in our inner circle. This doesn't necessarily mean that as a preserver, we want these things. We do, but it's not necessarily meaning that we're focused on it for the entire world. We're pretty discerning about who we let in our inner circle and who we are also trying to help feel secure and make sure they have enough resources. So that's why it's beyond just the self. There's subcategories that also give us some additional information to help us decide if this us and additional information to help us better understand our teammates better. For those that are preservers, underneath the security category, we have safety, which makes sense. We have relationships. So preservers will find safety inside their relationships. And that's sometimes why that one-on-one alternative description of the sexual, or in this case, the transmitting subtype, isn't necessarily accurate, because preservers also find and appreciate those one-to-one relationships. Maybe a little bit different reason. It's because they find that safety, security in those. And then the third subcategory is risk management, sometimes risk avoidant. I don't know that all preservers, though, are avoiding risk. It's just they tend to be really attuned, dialed in with managing the risk, assessing it, and then managing it if they decide to move forward. Underneath the well-being and resources category, we have comfort. This might include, am I cold enough? Am I cool enough? Am I hot enough? Is my chair comfortable enough? Do I have nice sheets? Are they scratchy? An example that one of the instructors at the Awareness to Action program had shared was that when they walk into a meeting, they are not a preserver. They tend to be a navigator that's really dialed into group dynamics, hierarchy, social structure. And so they will tend to prioritize, who do I need to sit next to in this meeting? And I'm going to go sit next to them. Maybe it's the front of the room. Maybe it's next to the leader. Who knows where it's at, but I'm paying attention to those things. Whereas somebody who might be a preserver, they tend to prioritize, is the seat comfortable? If the back seat's more comfortable, I'm going back there. I don't care who's sitting back there. Is the air blowing on me up here? I don't want to be up here. I'm gonna switch. So we want both things, right? Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. It's just how we prioritize it, or how sensitive are we to that. And preservers tend to be very sensitive. They are also focused on supply. Do I have enough? Do I have enough money? Do I have enough food? Do I have enough office supplies? What is that? Whatever that supply is, do I have enough? And then health, physical health, checking your heart rate while you're running, scheduling and tracking your sleep, making sure you got your good sleep hygiene, maybe check your blood pressure, you're getting the blood tests. They really pay attention to their health and wellness here. And then the third category is maintenance. And this includes repair. Do I have what I need? Do I have backup batteries? Do I have the tools to fix the supply that I do have? This includes tending to the nest. And this might look very different. It might be a very minimalistic tending to the nest. It might be a lot of stuff because you have backups and you got a lot of the having all those resources in your home. But the point is that is a priority for you. Tending to your nest is a priority. And then traditions tend to be a focus and a priority for our preservers as well. Holidays, doing things, we've always onboarded somebody this way. We've always ran our all company meeting this way. We always do our annual retreat this way. We always, the meeting agenda is always in this order. So consistency is really important to this type. Pictures. Is something that can also be a priority for our preservers. They want to preserve the moment. So they might be the one capturing the moment, have a lot of pictures on their walls. Now, again, just because you do one or two of these things, three of these things, doesn't necessarily mean you're a preserver. We're going to all do some of these things and all three of these instinctual biases. It's just, where does your attention go first? And the something else that I think helps this is understanding it's not just after you have your basic needs met, where does your attention go? Because of course, if you don't have enough food to eat, if you don't have enough money, if you're stressed out about paying your bills, um, you're going to be focused on some of these things. If you're sick in the hospital, of course, you're going to be focused on these things. But once your needs, your basic needs are met, then where does your extra attention go to? And for preservers, it is going to go to those things that have to do with nesting and nurturing. So we're going to talk more about this topic. We're going to cover the other two, which is navigating. They're attuned to social dynamics, group dynamics, and then we're going to talk about transmitting. They're more attuned to attracting, bonding, leaving a legacy. So we'll talk about those two, and then we'll get into more of the details of our preservers. What does that look like at work? What are their strengths? What their leadership style? What might potential struggles be? If you're ready to get into that now, there is a podcast episode over on the Enneagram at Work podcast that dives deep into it. There's actually a 2-part series over there. Or you can hang out and we'll be talking more details about preserving as well in weeks to come. So as always, thank you for being here. My name is Sarah Wallace, founder and CEO over at Enneagram MBA. We do team trainings. That is all that we do for the most part. And so as you are planning your year with your own team, with your own company, if you're looking for professional development, leadership development, team bonding, team building, I'm going to invite you to check out our workshop and team training options over at enneagrammba.com. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you happen to be a preserver and want to share some additional insight or real life examples, I always love to hear from you in the comments below. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you back here soon.